you're subsidizing the threat to democracy. And, he talks about how 2 years after the January 6th insurrection, a plurality of Americans, now it's not quite a majority, but it is, the largest cohort when you ask them what's the biggest danger to America. A plurality of Americans say the most important issue facing the country is the threat to democracy. And this is not just, the rioters on January 6th. We've got court rulings that are limiting voting rights, like I just described, Sam Alito's piece in the Supreme Court. You've got, an unregulated campaign finance system that lets billionaires own politicians, lets big corporations own politicians, again brought to us by the Supreme Court. And so the Lever, ProPublica, and the New York Times exposed in this article, and in several articles actually, this one is the Rolling Stone piece by David Sirota, exposed the largest known political advocacy donation in U.S. history. And this was this billionaire, Barry Seid, who gave $1.6 billion to Leonard Leo's new group that, is Leonard Leo's the guy who organized the packing of the Supreme Court and putting right-wing cranks on a whole spectrum of federal courts. And this is, shall we say, problematic. But here's the thing, Sheldon Whitehouse, for example, the Democrat from Rhode Island, is talking about his Disclose Act, which would require disclosure of these kinds of contributions. We found out about it, or the nation found out about it almost by accident. It was because this nonprofit that Leonard Leo had done, had to file a report with the IRS, which is a public record, and one of these groups was smart enough and vigilant enough to be watching these filings with the IRS, and they tracked it down. But the point that the point that they're getting to is that there's this Leonard Leo loophole. See, when Barry Seid donated this $1.6 billion to Leonard Leo and, his new right-wing, take over the courts, turn America into a fascist state group, well, he wouldn't say that. That's my interpretation, frankly. But, in fact, I'm quite sure he would disagree with that characterization. But in any case, when Barry Seid made this donation, he avoided paying taxes of about an estimated $400 million. Because there's this kind of, fancy two-step that you can do in the tax code that allows, these kinds of donations. He didn't donate $1.6 billion. He donated a company that was in the process of being sold. And when the company was sold, it was sold for $1.6 billion to, as I recall, a German company. So what David Sirota is arguing is that we need to close the Leonard Leo loophole. And I think it's brilliant to call it that. But basically, as David Sirota says, transparency enables the electorate to make informed decisions. How can we have a democracy if we don't know who's buying whom, right? I mean, this is simple, straightforward stuff.